Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the Thunderstruck SamAllyCo Late Model Series. Tonight, these late models will be taking on Larry Kinglaw's Langley Speedway for 100 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight's event. My name is Atlee Yatman Weiss, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's short track racing coverage. We were in action for a Halloween showdown last week at Lanier, where we saw Tyler Rice grab his first ever late model win, and he led 15 of the 104 laps, but he led the ones that counted. After starting in 6th, definitely cool to see him get it done. Finishing 2nd was Kieran Church, 3rd was Chris Reese, 4th was Jake Boehm. He led 85 laps, and running at your top 5 was Corey Bigley. He led 4 laps. Now, heading into this race, we've got a very tight point standings battle. Eric Tracy is your point standings leader. He's got 1 win this season at USA. Jake Boehm only 4 points back in 2nd. 3rd in points, only 5 points back is Dylan Bates. He has 2 wins this season at Myrtle Beach and Southern National. 4th is Kieran Church. And rounding at your top 5 in points, that is Rick Rube. Other winners this season that aren't in the top 5 in points include Tyler Rice, who was your last week's winner at Lanier, and Elliot Carlson, who won at Oswego. So let's take a look at how it's going here in the warm-up, or here in practice, excuse me. Dylan Bates on the top of the board with a 15.19. Then just a little bit back behind him in 2nd is Corey Bigley. 3rd is Kieran Church. 4th on the board, that is Josh Cole. And rounding at your top 5, it's Rick Rube. So Langley, very tricky track. Flat as a pancake, can't really use banking as a crutch. And the other unique part about it is that apron that spans all the way around the bottom of the racetrack. Drivers can utilize that to help them throughout the race. If your car needs to be able to turn a little bit more, then you can use it to help de-wedge the car and get it to turn some. And if your car is having trouble being stable, it can help provide a little bit of stability and a little bit of grip to help you get the drive off that you need. So you're going to see a lot of drivers with 2, maybe all 4 tires beneath that yellow line all throughout this race. That is the beautiful part of Langley Speedway. Now, I do want to give a big thank you to our series sponsor, SamAllyCo. They're sponsoring the Late Model Series for the 2nd season in a row. SamAllyCo is your one-stop shop for great gifts. You can find a wide variety of artful and expressive candles, graphic tees, and mugs on their easy-to-navigate website. SamAllyCo also offers PC builds and repairs for those in the Fort Wayne area. You can check out their website. Link is in the description for some great gift options. And I will tell you what, holiday season is coming up. If you're struggling to find what you want to get for loved ones, perfect place to check out is SamAllyCo. They may have a t-shirt or a mug or a candle that your loved one will enjoy. And of course, birthdays are always around. So if you have a birthday looking for a last-minute gift, go check out SamAllyCo. As we wrap things up, Langley Speedway, definitely a big track in the late model world. Cars Tour goes there, and of course, for their weekly racing, they have produced many great drivers, including most recently Connor Hall, who is going to be occupying the Junior Motorsports late model next season, and Brendan Queen, who has made some truck starts this season in the Craftsman Truck Series, and he finished 4th at North Wilkesboro. So Langley Speedway, hotbed for racers. Myself, I have raced at Langley Speedway for many years, including this season in a limited late model. So I do know a thing or two about how to get around this place. But I'm sure if I ran with these guys like Dylan Bates, Corey Bigley, Kieran Church, they'd kick my butt. And this is the best of the best here, short track racers at Langley Speedway. Always impressive to watch them duke it out, and you're going to see some fun racing here tonight. So now it's time for qualifying. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time, and there's the first driver out onto the racetrack. That's Josh the Jet Oswald from Laurie's Station, Pennsylvania, real-life racer himself. Still searching for his first win of the season. It's been a little bit of a rough go at it so far for car number 17. He is a previous winner here at Langley. He won here last season. So this could be the place where he finally breaks through with a win. Eric Tracy he missed last week, so trying to get back in the swing of things here at Langley. Kyle Martinson, this is his first race with us this season. Great racer in the super late models here in Thunderstruck, and now the late models. Should be a fun one to watch, but Eric Tracy goes to the top of the board to start things off. 15.39, that puts him 800ths ahead of Josh Oswald. There's Aaron Ward trying to see what he can do. Rick Rube to second. Whoa, barely misses the pole, only 100th off. Josh Oswald remains in third for the time being. There's Aaron Abendroth. Currently sits P4 on the board, but I think he was setting things up for a monster second lap. What'll it be? He goes to the top of the board, Aaron Abendroth, and as I say that, there goes Kyle Martinson to the top of the board with a 15.20. He is a 10th ahead of second place Aaron Abendroth. Third now is Rick Rube, who was a little less than 2/10 off of Kyle Martinson. There's Aaron Ward parking it in Dale Lemons' Victory Lane. Victory Lane honoring the late Dale Lemons. He was a Legends racer at Langley Speedway, and he sadly passed away in a racing accident at the track in the early 2000s. So that's a really neat part of Langley honoring him. Drove the Flying 11. Now there is Dylan Bates in the 91. 2-time winner this season, trying to see what he can do. Tyler Rice trying to get 2 wins in a row here tonight. We'll see what he can do. Corey Bigley out there as well. Coming off a top 5, led some laps. He won the pole last week at Lanier, so he can do that here tonight. And Dylan Bates goes to the top of the board there with a 15.19. That puts him 100th ahead of Kyle Martinson. Third is Aaron Abendroth now with a 15.32. He's about a 10th off of Dylan Bates. And Corey Bigley goes to third with a 15.28. Little less than a 10th off of Dylan Bates. Still have 2 more cars that need to qualify. That's Josh Cole, who is making his debut tonight, and Kiernan Church. And speaking of Kiernan Church, there he goes out onto the racetrack. Trying to see what kind of time he can lay down. He started top 5 last week at Lanier. Very good qualifier. See if that continues here tonight at Langley. And we see drivers doing that. Running the high side to carry some momentum into that first corner. This is the money lap for Kiernan Church. What'll it be? Gasses it up off of 4. And I think he might have hit the wall. So if you get any kind of incident point, even if it's a 0x, If it registers you making contact with something, that'll end your lap. So it looks like Josh Cole will not turn a lap. So Dylan Bates wins the pole. Going to have another 2-minute warm-up just to give these drivers one last opportunity to get their late models dialed in. Not many adjustments you can make because of the fact that this is a fixed setup league. The only thing you can really mess with, at least in the car, that's worth your while is your brake bias. You can add some to the front, add some to the rear, depending on how your car is handling, and that may evolve as the races go on. You may see drivers messing with that based on how their tires are wearing. That is Josh Oswald. There he is on track right now, searching for his first win of the season still. And it has been a rough go at it so far for Oswald. He had a 6th place finish last week at Lanier, just after starting in 3rd, and in the ditch. Yeah, that's another thing you got to be careful of here at Langley. There is no inside wall. Turns 1 and 2, if you get into the grass, you will be okay. But through 3 and 4, if you get off of the path, off of the apron, you will end up getting stuck in a ditch. That's a bad time. So you just got to be careful of that. We can talk about the track a little bit more that we are racing at tonight, a little bit more in depth. It's 0.397 miles, so just under 4/10. It only has 6 degrees banking in the turns, 2 degrees on the straightaways. Like I said, it is flat as a pancake. And it's where legends are born. Fastest fun around. Home of the famed Hampton Heat 200. Very prestigious late model race that Dale Earnhardt Jr. competed in this season. You may have seen that on social media if you're a fan of Dale. But that is where he raced back in July in the Bass Pro number 3. All right. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's event. Starting on the pole with a 15.190. Gotta say it, scorching hot lap time. It's the 91 of Dylan Bates. On his outside, that's Kyle Martinson in the 07. Third is the 28 of Corey Bigley. Fourth, it's Aaron Abendroth in the 65. And rounding at your top 5, that is the 81 of Rick Rube. 6th place, it's your point standings leader, Eric Tracy in the 66. 7th is last week's winner, Tyler Rice. 8th, it's Velocity Motorsports' Josh the Jet Oswald in the 17. 9th is the 22 Velocity Motorsports driver of Kieran Church. Rounding out your top 10, that is Aaron Ward in the 99. And rounding out the field in 11th, it's the 9 Cole World Racing driver of Josh Cole. And correction, Josh Cole did not grid, so we only have 10 cars in this race, just as we did last week. But I have a feeling that it is going to be one competitive race. Majority of the field, I would say, has a good shot at winning this one. I have a feeling we'll see a lot of different leaders, a lot of movers and shakers. Tire saving, very important. There's not many other tracks on the platform here on iRacing that can tear up tires as much as Langley does. So, especially those guys up front, got to tread carefully, make sure that you still have some tread left at the end of the race when you need to make some moves. So here we go. Dylan Bates, Kyle Martinson, they make up your front row. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. We are underway for Thunderstruck here at Langley Speedway. There's Dylan Bates leading the field into 1 and 2. He will get clear of Kyle Martinson. Corey Bigley will tuck in line into third. The whole field plays pretty nice, at least up front. here on lap number 1. But now Kyle Martinson on the attack, trying to find a way by Dylan Bates for this race lead. We see he pushes up a little bit, exposing that bottom. We'll see what Corey Bigley will try to do. And we see a big run off of 4 for Kyle Martinson. Gets closer to that back bumper of Dylan Bates. He is the fastest late model on the track right now. What can he do with that? Will he want to do anything with that is the question, or does he want to try to bide his time there in third, or excuse me, there in second, and just save those tires? Obviously, at some point, maybe Corey Bigley may get impatient, try to get by him. But now Dylan Bates, he is the fastest car on the racetrack, setting a blistering pace for these drivers. Just got to be careful early on not to burn up your stuff, setting the pace for the lead. But, I mean, Dylan Bates, he knows what he's doing. He's got 2 wins this season. Great tire saver. He will be just fine. Now, Kyle Martinson fights back. He ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 15.55. 07 car is quick right now. Just trying to see if he can set something up. Aaron Abendroth trying to get by Corey Bigley for this third place spot. We see Corey Bigley getting really low there off of 4, protecting that bottom to make sure that Abendroth can't get underneath him. Rick Rube is quick right now in the 5th place spot. He just ran a 15.54. He's trying to reel in Abendroth for that 4th place spot. But Abendroth a little bit busy right now as he tries to make it by Corey Bigley for the 3rd place spot. Abendroth looking high, looking low, just trying to see where Corey Bigley is giving up that bottom. But he's doing a good job getting those 2 left side tires on the apron on exit to make sure that Abendroth can't get underneath him. Definitely textbook defense here at Langley Speedway by Corey Bigley. And he's trying to reel in now Kyle Martinson for this 2nd place spot. He may have to play some offense and defense if he can catch that 07 car. But in the meantime, we still watch him trying to defend that spot. Abendroth, big run off of 4. Almost got into Bigley's back bumper. Falls back a little bit, trying to set up another run. But Abendroth being patient. Now he's having to play some offense and defense as Rick Rube tries to reel him in. Not too far behind Rube is Tyler Rice. Saw him blink a little bit there. Battle for the lead starting to heat back up as Kyle Martinson tries to close in on Dylan Bates. See what Kyle Martinson can do. Being patient as he sets this run up. He's got a nice run off of 4 as he gasses it up. Loses some ground though, and Bates extends that gap. Once again, looking back to Corey Bigley, Aaron Abendroth, the battle for 3rd, the final spot on the podium. When we see Abendroth, big run. Corey Bigley still though protecting that bottom. Making Abendroth work for it if he wants to really get to 3rd. Bigley's got that bottom pretty well covered. Abendroth is going to have to go way down there on the apron if he wants to make it by Bigley. Speaking of Bigley, he's actually starting to close in on Kyle Martinson for this 2nd place spot. Bigley looks low, getting down on the apron. Aaron Abendroth continuing to try something. So Corey Bigley fighting a battle on two fronts right now. Not only trying to play offense to get by Kyle Martinson, but he needs to play some defense to make sure that that 65 does not get by him. Not only looking in the mirror, rearview mirror, but also watching that front windshield fill up of the 07's back bumper. Continuing to just keep up some good pace, being patient as he tries to work his way by Kyle Martinson. And at the same time, maintain that gap between himself and Abendroth. Bigley's the only driver that's getting really low there off of 4. So much so that it's registering him entering pit road. That's what you got to do around here. Quarter of the way through this race, here's a quick flyby through the field. Dylan Bates currently leads. He's got about a half a second lead over second place Kyle Martinson. Third is Corey Bigley. Fourth, that is Aaron Abendroth. And then rounding out your top 5, it is Rick Rube. Sixth, Tyler Rice. Seventh place is Kieran Church. Currently running in 8th, that's Josh Oswald. 9th is Eric Tracy, and rounding out your top 10 and the field, that's Aaron Ward. So a quarter of the way through this race, and Dylan Bates has a decent lead over Kyle Martinson right now. Doing a great job controlling this field. Just got to make sure, again, that you're not running too much of a blistering pace where you don't have anything left at the end. We continue to watch Corey Bigley try to make it by Kyle Martinson for this second place spot. And he also is having to hold off Aaron Abendroth. We see Kyle Martinson is starting to extend that gap between himself and Bigley, so now it's just Bigley and Abendroth once again there for third. Abendroth being very patient, not pushing the issue. He's got Rick Rube, Tyler Rice, and Kieran Church behind him. Field is extremely tight from first all the way to 7th. Just waiting to see who will make a move first and who will catch who first. Abendroth. Let's take a look at the cockpit cam of car number 65. See a nice wide arc there into the corner. Wrapping that yellow line, gasses it up. Nice and smooth out towards the wall. And then look how low Bigley's getting. Abendroth not going quite that low. He's getting a better run off the corner. And that may be helping his tires a little bit more as well. Again, you see very smooth on the wheel. It's the name of the game when saving those tires. And Aaron Abendroth. Kyle Martinson starting to close in on Dylan Bates for this race lead. He's got a big run off of 4, looking low on the front stretch. He'll drive it down all the way into 1 and 2 to his left rear. Then Dylan Bates able to shut the door for the time being, but watch out for Kyle Martinson. He went for it, falls back in line, gonna regroup, try to see what he can do to get by this 91 machine. Came out of nowhere. Martinson maybe getting a little bit impatient riding behind that 91. Maybe he's not setting a pace that he feels comfortable running, so he's got a big run off of... Whoa! Slips in underneath him through 3 and 4. Martinson with the nose, and oh, he slides the car off of 4, able to save it, and he will get by Dylan Bates and assume the race lead. First time that he has led laps tonight. That'll knock Dylan Bates down to second. Bates keeping it close, not letting Martinson get too far ahead. See what Dylan Bates can do to try to get this lead back. I guess my thought process is maybe Bates was not running the kind of pace that Martinson wanted to run, because you don't see many passes for the lead at that point in the race. Most people are still saving. Oh, Bates giving him the bumper off of turn number 2. Letting him know, hey, I want this first place spot back. He's got a big run off of 2 for Dylan Bates. Once again, really quick off of corner exit. Gets right up to the back bumper of the 07. He's also got to worry about Corey Bigley in third, not too far behind, making this 3-horse battle for the lead. And from first all the way to 6th, it's some really tight racing. But Bates, right on that back bumper, he shoves him. Around goes Martinson off of 2, and it's a stack up. Caution flag is out. First caution of the race. Wow. Here we go. We're watching Dylan Bates. He is pushing it off of 4. You see that rear end stepping out a little bit, getting really hard into the gas. And so he drives it hard into the corner. And he gets into the back bumper of Martinson, sends him around. I don't know if he meant to hit him that hard. I don't know if he meant to hit him in that area. Didn't look like he hit him exactly square. I don't know if maybe Martinson wasn't getting in the gas as hard as Bates thought, but just sent him around. So now Kyle Martinson heading down onto pit road. Gonna get the damage he acquired from that incident fixed. So Martinson involved in the wreck, and then Bates got the EOL for being the cause of the caution. So now Corey Bigley is your race leader. Tyler Rice is in second, trying to go for win number 2 on the season. 2 wins in a row after previously not having won any late model races here in Thunderstruck. And there's Kieran Church, Eric Tracy, Rick Rube rounds out your top 5. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air, and Corey Bigley leads this field of late models into turns 1 and 2. There's Kieran Church trying to get underneath Tyler Rice for second. He's to his door, down the backstretch. He dives it down all the way onto the apron through 3 and 4. Rice still with the nose on the outside, but there's Church fighting hard on the bottom. He does have that preferred groove. It's very difficult to make the outside work here at Langley, and Kieran able to grab that second place spot. Now Tracy following behind him, trying to snatch third and continue to knock Rice back. Tracy with the nose, heading into 1 and 2. Rick Rube all over the back bumper of the 66. He'll drive off the corner, and he will take position number 3. Now the battle is on for first place. Kieran Church trying to track down Corey Bigley for this race lead. We will see what Church can do. And Dylan Bates is quick right now, 15.42. He's currently in 8th, and he knows that time is running out for him to work his way up through the field to try to get back up front to the win. He's being very aggressive right now. We'll continue to keep up with the progress of that 91 and the 07 as they both try to work their way back up through the field. Rick Rube trying to close in on Eric Tracy for the third place spot. We'll continue to watch that battle. There's Dylan Bates right now trying to make it by Martinson. Martinson trying to get by Josh Oswald for that 5th place spot. Eric Tracy reeling in Kieran Church for that 2nd place spot. Church, decent gap, still maintaining that gap, but watch out for Tracy. He just ran his personal best lap time of the race. Car 66 is quick right now. Just trying to see where Church will give up the bottom. He gives him the bottom there through 3 and 4. Tracy will take it, and Church falls to 3rd now. Eric Tracy up to position number 2. He will set his sights on trying to track down your leader, Corey Bigley. Eric Tracy. Still is Kieran Church behind him. Church, big run off of 2. Not letting Tracy get too far ahead. And watch out for Rick Rube. He is right there in that 4th place position as well. You could throw a blanket over 2nd through 4th right now. Very, very tight battle. But who is going to be able to make a move first? We see Tracy is starting to extend that gap between himself and Church. So now we look to the battle between Church and Rick Rube. That's for the final spot on the podium in 3rd. And don't look now, Dylan Bates into the top 5. Trying to reel in your top 4 right now. Rick Rube giving it all he's got right now. And maybe not all he's got at this point in the race still. Probably giving about 75% as he tries to track down Kieran Church. Once we hit 25 laps to go, though, he may start giving it 100%. Aaron Abendroth trying to make it by Kyle Martinson for the 6th place spot. Abendroth does not have the launch off the corner that Martinson seems to have. So we'll see if he can adjust something with his line or his braking points to try to get some more drive off the corner. And he may not want to use all that power yet still. A little bit of this race left. Close in on 25 laps to go. Look back to Kieran Church and Rick Rube, the battle for third. And we are 3/4 of the way through this thing at 25 more laps to go. Here's a look at your running order. Corey Bigley in first. Eric Tracy second. Third, rounding out the podium, that's Kieran Church. Fourth is Rick Rube, rounding out your top 5. That is Dylan Bates. Sixth is Kyle Martinson. Seventh, Aaron Abendroth. Eighth is Tyler Rice. Currently in ninth, that is Josh Oswald. And rounding out your top 10, that is Aaron Ward. So less than 25 laps to go. Corey Bigley, a sizable lead over Eric Tracy right now. Running really well. The win is in sight for car number 28. Just has to keep hanging on. Hope for no cautions and hope that he saved enough tires. At this point in the race, if you've been saving, if you've been riding, it is time to go. Hit that gas pedal, get up through the field. Time is running out. And one driver who heard that is Kieran Church, as he is starting to look underneath Eric Tracy. Off of 4, there he is, diving it down into 1 and 2. Side by side for second. Church with the nose off the corner. He gasses it up, and he is able to get to that second place spot. There's Rick Rube shoving his nose underneath the 66 for third. He will tuck in line, try to set something up. Tracy keeping it close behind Church, not letting him get too far ahead. And Dylan Bates has gone from the back now, fighting for fourth. And yes, he will take that fourth place spot. Only one more spot he needs to break onto the podium. Eric Tracy trying to get back by Kieran Church, takes second place spot back. But does he have enough tires to do so? And Dylan Bates, he is hungry to break onto the podium. Dylan Bates driving it in hard. Oh, almost gets into his back bumper there. Got close. Not quite there yet. But he really wants that third place spot because he knows that his time is fleeting to get up to the race lead. Back to where he started this race, on the pole. Corey Bigley still with a comfortable 2-second lead over Kieran Church. Unless something crazy happens, it's looking good for Bigley. Tracy fighting tooth and nail to make sure that 91 does not get by him. Oh, Bates into his back bumper, down the backstretch, puts those left side tires onto the lip of that apron, and he gets underneath the 66. Down the front stretch, Bates drives it in hard into 3 and 4, and he will slot up into that third place spot. So now he looks to second place. Kieran Church, can he break into the top 2? We'll find out here in these coming 11 laps. Now Rick Rube trying to make it by Eric Tracy. Spot that he previously tried to get. There's Rick Rube fighting hard. Look now. Dylan Bates, 9 laps to go. tracking down Kiernan Church for this second place spot. He's been like a madman getting up to the field after that caution, getting the EOL being the cause of the caution, and he gets to that left rear down the front stretch, dives it into 1 and 2, and he will take second. So now he has 7 laps to gain 2 seconds on Corey Bigley for this race lead. Can he do it? He does have a lap car separating him and Bigley. This should be interesting. I don't know if he has enough tires left. I mean, he's fought extremely hard to get up to the field. Able to get by the lap car pretty well. 5 laps to go for Corey Bigley. Can he hang on? Able to avoid that wreck at the halfway point, has led since then. Has a pretty sizable gap, but he's got to hang on to it. There's Rick Rue, big run as he drives it down, trying to get to that back bumper of Eric Tracy. Eric Tracy trying to make it by Kiernan Church, 3rd through 5th, really tight right now. Big run down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Tracy looks low. He gets underneath Kiernan. This is for the final spot on the podium, and Tracy gets it. Eric Tracy now up to that 3rd place spot. Rick Rube follows behind him. Rube, 3 more laps to try to get by Tracy for position number 3. And now we look to Corey Bigley. Two-second lead. Checkered flag is in the air, bringing it home for the first time this season. Corey Bigley is your winner here at Langley. Finishing second, that is Dylan Bates. 3rd, Eric Tracy. 4th is Rick Rube. And rounding at your top 5, Kyle Martinson. But Corey Bigley has got to be ecstatic right now as he brings it home for the first time this season. Parking it in Dale Lemon's victory lane. What a race. So now let's go ahead with your driver interviews as the fireworks go off. Bringing home in 3rd. That was Eric Tracy, point standings leader. That should allow him to keep that point standings lead, at least for the time being. Eric, this is Atlin, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, good run tonight here at Langley, bringing it home. 3rd on the podium. It was definitely a hard-fought 3rd, and I saw you were lurking around 5th for a lot of the race, and then after that halfway caution that we saw with the wreck, able to get some spots. We're competing right up there in the top 3, duking it out there with Kiernan. And so you lost the spot to him. Dylan made it back by you, but you ended up making it by Kiernan and holding off Rick to bring it home in 3rd. It was definitely wild up front, very competitive race. I mean, just walk us through that one.
Yeah. I mean, beginning part, I was just trying to save tires. This is definitely not one of my favorite places, and I'm very hard on tires, so just trying to ride there, and then at the end, just trying to maintain what I had.
Yeah, no, Langley Speedway, extremely abrasive on the tires. I mean, what was the key to saving them tonight?
I don't know. I didn't do a very good job, but just try to turn the steering wheel as little as possible.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Just all the VMS guys and the sponsors that help put these on.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium, Eric. Have a great rest of your night.
Yep, you too. Thanks.
Now let's pull in your 2nd place finisher, Dylan Bates. Dylan, this is... Oh, shoot. Dylan, this is Atlan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Awesome. Well, that was a roller coaster race here at Langley. No, you started on the pole. Great qualifying lap. Hung on to the lead there. Eventually, Kyle made it by you, but you gave him a bumper off of two. He went around. You went to the back, and after that, you just worked your way back up through the field. Had to make some bold moves, some good passes. Had to be aggressive, and you're able to get up to the second place spot. It was a little bit too late to try to close in on Corey, but still, definitely great job working your way back up to the field. I mean, walk us through that roller coaster ride of a race.
Yeah, I just wasn't really ready to go yet, and it seemed like Kyle was, so I kind of let him go. And then after 10 or 15 laps, it seemed like he was already kind of running out of tire, and then he just was going a little slower in the center of the corner than I thought he was. And I was off the pedals and just kind of rolling through the middle of the corner, and I rolled up on him at a bad time. I think he was just trying to change directions a little harder, just trying to protect the bottom, and then it just caused me to get into his back bumper and spin him out. So unfortunate deal there. Sent us both to the back, and Aaron Abendroth felt bad for him, but at least we were able to get back to second.
Yeah, I mean, how were you able to pass all of those cars at this abrasive track and still, have enough to get up there?
I think I just saved enough early. My right front was still basically 70% there at the end of the race, so I think I just saved enough in those first 40 laps that I had enough to charge at the end.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
No, I just can't thank everybody for putting on the Thunderstruck Super Series enough. SamAllyCo and everybody else who's behind it, and thanks to you for broadcasting. And shout out to the guys at VMS Motorsports.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the run-up tonight, Dylan. Have a great night.
Thank you, man.
And now let's pull in your race winner, getting it done for the first time this season. Session ended, but you know who it is. 28, Corey Bigley. Corey, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight here at Langley, bringing it home for the first time this season. It was definitely a hard-fought win. I know I saw you were running in that third-place spot for the first part of the race, having to hold off all the field, and eventually we saw that caution right around halfway, gave you the lead, and after that, you were able to hang on to it, held Kieran at bay. He was the only driver that was really able to get close to you after the halfway point, and you just ended up finishing with the 2-second lead even when Dylan got to second, didn't have enough time to catch you. So, I mean, just walk us through that final half of the race when you were just trying to manage that lead.
Yeah, when I got out front, I knew because I kind of really didn't still want to burn my stuff up because we had like 18 lap. I had a target. I had a set like lap that I wanted to run like really hard, started to, and I just had it set in my head the whole time. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good right now. Like when I was behind Bates and Kyle, I was just trying to just not pace, but trying to just not run too hard. I would just let it roll in, just soft in, be easy, not kill the right front off the corner. I just know how to get around Langley. Just stay right on the apron, help the car turn if you're a little snug. And I just didn't really want to burn the right rear tire off either. And I made for towards the end of the race, I made a little bit of front brake adjustment because it started to get a little bit sideways off the corner. And I'm like, oh, let me just I'll make the car a little tighter, but it wasn't that bad in the center, and it helped. And my target lap was 70, and I got away, and I knew I was getting away from Eric. I'm like, okay, I'm driving away. I was just kind of pacing with Bates and all that. I was just trying to see what times they were running because I know it's hard to pass people there. It takes time, and I was just watching. I'm like, I see the gap. It's like 2.5. He would get about a tenth faster, half a tenth. I'm like, okay, I'm not in trouble. He would pass another guy. I'm like, okay. And then I just started watching, and I kind of was saving a little bit about. Cause I was waiting if another caution came out. I was trying to save a little bit more to about. I saved from towards the end of the race. I tried to pay or not pace, but I tried to save a little bit. Like with like 10 to go and then 5 to go, I really turned the wick back up and just started just driving away and doing all that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely Langley, tricky track, but I mean, it looked like towards the end there, had it figured out and able to hang on to it. So before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout outs?
Yeah, it's for you guys to put it on Integrity Podcast. You doing putting this and then I gotta thank all my VMS guys and all that, and then I don't know the sponsor for this race because, like I said, I don't run these that much. I run these every now and then because, like I said, real racing getting in the way it does. But yeah, it's fun racing with you guys, and I don't know if I kind of got lucky, but it just fell into my lap when that happened. That spin happened, and but I was gonna try to start to make moves about 20 to go, or not 20 to go, about 30 to go. I was gonna start to make moves on those two.
I know you said you have the real life races. Do you have any real life like big races coming up?
Yeah, I'm not racing, but my brother is. It's my grandpa's race. It's Bill Bigley Senior Memorial 128 at Freedom Factory. We're racing there on the 30th. And then I do have one coming up after in my truck. I have one. It's going to be December 14th. It's a charity race. It's a 100-lap race for the Pro Truck Series. We usually run 50-lap races, but now we get to run bigger 100-lap races, and that kind of fits. It doesn't fit. It fits my style, but I've been getting better and getting faster. We've been getting the truck a lot better there. I've been qualifying second I qualified second the last like 5 races there. We've been there, and I have a good short run car, but it gets a little snug in the long run. But we're making more changes, and getting it better and better all the time.
Good luck with your real life racing endeavors. Definitely cool to see, some real life racers here on the sim having success on the sim, having success in real life. Definitely cool to see. So good luck with your real life races. Congrats on the win, Corey.
All right, and I know same to you. I know you run at Langley too in real life.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've seen how you've been doing. I look at how you do. You do pretty good.
Well, thank
I know
you.
it's a new car. I know it's a new car, and it's a new class, isn't it?
Yeah, we're running the limited late models for the first time this season here at Langley, so it's a tricky track to learn at, as everyone could see tonight here with these late models. So it's a blast. I'm definitely cool to have that opportunity. So, real life racer recognizes real life racer here on the sim. So congrats, Corey.
All right, thanks, and then you have a good night.
You too. Well, there you go, Corey Bigley. Congratulations to him on grabbing the win here at Langley. Got to give a big thank you to, of course, the head honcho of Thunderstruck, Josh Oswald. Thanking him for all that he does for this league, keeping it running smoothly. Thank you to SamAllyCo for sponsoring the series. Make sure to go check out their website, SamAlly.com, for great gifts. And I want to thank you for tuning in to watch the broadcast. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as that would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And check out our web store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. There we have cool merchandise. You can do custom screen printing for your racing team, your business, whatever event you're having. Now, next week, we will be at South Boston. So make sure to turn on that notification bell so you do not miss when we go live with that race. I'm Atlee Atman Waste on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team.